quest for the Holy Grail. Chapter 1. King Arthur and Harry Potter and people of Lord of the Rings go on a quest to stop the Dark Ones from destroying the world. This is a real version. I lost my password for old account. King Arthur. Once upon a time, King Arthur and Lancelot were sitting in Camelot around the round table. Suddenly a knight charged into the room and yelled, Arthur, we know where the Holy Grail is. Arthur gasps, I have been looking for this cup for years. Quick, Lancelot, we must gather the army and go on quest to get it. And so then Lancelot and Arthur and all the other knights went on their horses and rode towards the palace where the knight had said the Grail was hidden. Chapter 2, the Goblet of Fires. When Arthur and Lancelot and all the rest of the knights made it to the place, they saw an old ruined castle. In the castle was a scary light made from a pumpkin and some crappy candles. We must be care, he said Arthur as he wandered into the castle door. As he went inside, there was a flash of magic and Arthur went down. What happened? Cried Arthur. Who are you? Said a voice from the dark. Arthur looked up, and it was a small boy with glasses and black hair. He had a scar on his face, and then he knew who it was. Harry Potter! Yelled Arthur loudly. King Arthur and Lancelot, replied Harry. We have come here to seek the Holy Grail. Do you know where it is? Yes. The Grail is actually the Goblet of Fire from the Harry Potter book. Arthur said as he stood upright. Yes, it is true. We must join forces and use its power to stop the Dark Ones. What are the Dark Ones? They are all the evil wizards from Harry Potter books, and also Mordred from King Arthur's story, and also orcs from Lord of Rings, plus some other. Okay, said Arthur, and he went outside to get Lancelot. Chapter 3, Lair of the Dragons. In the creepy lair of the Dark Ones, there was Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Voldemort from Harry Potter. And also Mordred and some evil ghosts entered there, saving some skeletons, and also a king from World of Warcraft. They sat around a table made from the skull of their enemy. We must kill Harry, said Voldemort. Yes, and also we must kill King Arthur because he has many eyes that could come and harm us, agreed Mordred. Sort of smashed the tail of Iron Glove and said, We must also stop Frodo. And Sam and Gandalf and all those from destroying the ring because the ring will destroy all of us. Lick King said, I agree. And then the evil skeleton and ghost roared with agreement. Suddenly a dark man appeared in the doorway of the room. It was a man made of blood. He said, Evil Lord, we have news of the Arthur and Harry Potter. I saw them go into Dark Creep Castle at night yesterday. Voldemort uttered an evil laugh and said, Ha 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 ha, we will attack them tonight. And so a bunch of skeleton and host and also Ringwraith and Death Eater from Harry Potter went to find the castle and attack Arthur and Harry. Chapter 4, Indiana Jones, Holy Grail. As Arthur, Lancelot, and the knights, and Harry sat inside the castle and talked, they heard a knock at the window. Arthur peered out of the door and saw a man in a hat of a whip. It was Indiana Jones. Hello, Indiana Jones. Arthur said out the window. Hello, Arthur, said Indiana Jones. I have heard there was a Holy Grail in here. Yes, there is, but there's also Goblet of Fire from Harry Book. Oh, okay. We could use your help to stop the Dark Ones from getting it, because if they do, they will destroy the world. Okay, I will help, said Indiana Jones. And he came and sat around the table with the rest of them. So we must make a plan to stop the Dark Ones and their evil plot to kill all the people on the world. Yes, replied Harry as he scratched his scar and thought. Indiana Jones brought a crystal skull from his pocket and said, "This skull is magic. It can help us destroy the Dark Ones." "Good idea," said Arthur. So he used a pen to keep the crystal skull to stop Voldemort and the rest of the Dracons from their evil plot to destroy the world. So Arthur, Indiana Jones, and Harry Potter, and also Lancelot spent the night at in the Old Crep Castle. They all went to sleep. Suddenly, a noise woke them up. Indiana Jones looked out the window and saw an army of skeleton ghosts and Death Eater and Ringway Wraith, led by the man made of blood. Gasp! He cried and told the others what he had seen. "Quick, get your weapons," said Arthur, so they got their weapons ready. Arthur had bullets. Arthur had Excalibur. Harry had wand, and Indiana Jones whipped a pistol out of his pocket with his whip and put it into his hand, and then he loaded it with bullets. Lancelot went downstairs to get the other knights to help. Indiana Jones fired bullets at the skeletons, and they fell down dead. Harry did a spell, and some ghosts were destroyed, and then Arthur jumped through the window, and then used Excalibur to kill some of the Death Dealer. The lead Death Dealer was Lucius Malfoy. He tried to do a Navarra Cadabra spell, but then Arthur stabbed him with Excalibur, and then blood poured down his front and robes. He screamed, "Ah, ah, ah." But Arthur did not stop stabbing him until he fell down on the floor dead. And then Ringway and the man mad of blood and some ghosts that were not killed by Harry's spell ran back to the Dark One's secret lodge to tell what happened. "I am sorry, Drac Ones, but we could not stop them. They are too powerful for Lucius and his Death Dealers." "What?" yelled Sauron and the Lich King, and they stood up in anger. "I am sorry," said the man made of blood with a pathetic voice, but they did not listen. "Next time, we will make sure we defeat them." "Yeah," agreed Voldemort. Chapter 6. Russian and the Nazis. The Dracons suddenly stopped their meeting as the door opened. Then some Nazi and a Russian woman from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull came inside. They all had guns and lots of bullets, and then the woman said, "We have come to join the Dark Ones. We want to kill Indiana Jones." "Okay," said Mordred, and then they began to train. Voldemort taught them some spell, and Sauron gave them some orc armor to wear. Also, the woman joined the table with the other head Dark Ones. "Our last plan failed. We need a new plan," said Voldemort. "Yes! Agreed, Lich King. This time we need to attack secretly, not with massive army." "Good idea." And so they made a plan to send a few Nazi and Ringwraith who survived last fight to go under secret tunnel to find Harry and Arthur and the others. Meanwhile, at the castle, Harry and Indiana Jones and Arthur were setting out to meet Frodo and Gandalf so they could combine the power of Crystal Skull and Ring and Holy Grail together into one weapon to slay Drac Ones. Wow, sounds like the plot of Mass Effect 3. And then they made Hagrid outside, who carried their things, and Lancelot and his knights. "Where is Gandalf and the others?" asked Harry. "Don't know," replied Hagrid, "but maybe they are in the Forbidden Forest." "Okay, we will go into Forbidden Forest," said Arthur, and then they set off. Chapter 7. Forbidden Forest. Soon Harry and Hagrid and Arthur and Indiana Jones had made it to Forbidden Forest. It was dark and scary, and they stood outside it. "We cannot see," said Hagrid, so Harry made a lumos and his wand lighted up for them to see path ahead. There was a lot of back trees and grass, and it was also misty. So they went in. Arthur could see eyes in the tree, so he pulled out Excalibur and stabbed the tree. But there was nothing there. "What you doing?" said Harry. "I thought there was something in it." "Okay." They kept walking until they saw a clearing. In the clearing there was bones and skeleton on the floor, and also dead body on the trees and blood on the floor. "I do not like it," said Indiana Jones suddenly. As them walked in a loud roar, a three-headed dog came into the clearing. "Fluffy!" screamed Hagrid, and then he went and stroked Fluffy on the head and rubbed his chin. "Fluffy will help us find the Frodo and Hobbit." So Fluffy did a slip on the ground, and then he found a trail. Chapter 8. The Spider Attack. They followed the trail to a large cave, and the cave with lots of spider webs. Harry was scared, but Arthur said, "Do not be scared, it is only web," and slashed them with Excalibur so they all fell down. They walked into the cave, and then they saw some spider cocoons with Gandalf, Sam, Frodo, Aragorn, and the rest inside. "Help!" cried Frodo. And they cut down the cuckoos and set them free. "What happened?" said Arthur. "It was spiders. They trapped them and us in the web." "Did you kill them?" "No, they are still here." And then they heard a loud Suddenly, two monster spiders came down from the ceiling. It was Shelob and Aragorn. They were working for Dark Ones. Many baby spiders also came to. "Attack!" cried Aragorn, and then the baby spiders attacked. Arthur stabbed some with Excalibur, and Harry did a Flipinodo spell and knocked some down a big hole. Hagrid stomped some and Fluffy ate them, and the Lord of the Rings people also stabbed some baby spiders. Indiana Jones killed some with his weapon, and then when they won, Aragorn and Sleelob carried him, and also the Terrier Spinner Spider from Zerdarak in World of Warcraft. Merry and Pippin got caught and eaten. Everyone else fought the spiders, and then they died. "I am sorry, Merry and Pippin," said Gandalf, "but we must now defeat the Dark Ones." And then they all started to go towards the Dark One lair to make the ultimate weapon to destroy it. Chapter 9. In the lair of the Dark Ones. Soon they had made it into the secret hour of the Dark Ones, and the floor was skulls and bones, and then they went inside. Inside, the floor was made of skulls, and the walls of bones and blood poured out of the floor, and the walls and doors were painted in blood. There was a torch made out of human skulls, and a little landle inside like a pumpkin on the walls as well. "What is this place?" said Hagrid, and then he heard a noise outside the door. It was the secret Nazi attack. So they got their weapons and ready to fight. 20 Nazis come inside with guns and spells and also orc armor. They shot at Arthur, but he uses the shields to deflect the bullets. And then they did a spell, and then the skull on the wall come alive, and the skeletons attacked Harry Potter and Harrigerid. The skeleton ground and ran Frod and Arby to kill Gandalf and the rest of the Lord of the Rings. Gandalf did a magic blast and burned some skeleton, and then Aragorn swung the sword and cut some skeletons. Because they were made of bones, they did not bleed. But they fell down on the floor dead anyway. The skeletons were all dead, and one was left, and he killed Sam with sharp finger claws. "Sam!" cried Frodo, and he stabbed the last skeleton and dived as well. "Poor Sam," said Indiana Jones, "but at least we killed the skeletons." And then the ring wraith, and then the Nazis attacked. Indiana Jones pulled a flamethrower out of his pocket, and it burned the Nazis, but the armor protected them. "It is no good," shouted Indiana Jones. Then a ring wraith did a ring wraith screech, and then everyone got scared, and then the floor and the ceiling made its scores started to collapse in. It was rain skulls on blood and bones and dead bodies from the screech, and Arthur and Lasseltoe got up and did a massive stab with the swords and killed up the ring wraith. Some black blood spilled on the floor, and then the dead body disappeared. We are the winner! Cheered Indiana Jones, but then they saw a door, and through the door was a man made of blood. And I'm going to leave it at that for now, but I hopefully will continue this soon. Goodbye.